Two of my favorite topics to speak on, and actually two podcast series I've done, both have the word lie in it. The lie of age and the lie of food. The reason I bring those up is I cannot stand when I hear about somebody lying as far as giving fitness advice or food advice, nutrition advice, and what have you. And actually, this podcast is subtitled, Dispelling the Myths of Health, Fitness, and Nutrition. Well, today, we're going to confront another lie, the lie of body mass index. Today, a quick hit on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness. Thank you so much for listening in. I appreciate all your phone calls. I appreciate the questions that we've gotten on some of our podcasts. And I want to tell you, as usual, if you're interested in this podcast or any others, you can contact us at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE, E-D-G-E. Or you can contact me at Garrett, G-A-R-R-E-T-T, at personaledgefitness.com. That's also our website, personaledgefitness.com, and our Facebook page. Now, quickly, because this is a quick hit, I'm going to talk about something that's really irked me. And I found out some information somewhat lately that was kind of the final straw on this ridiculous measurement that we've been using. Actually, it's been around since 1832. Now, it was originally called the Quetelet Index. And the reason being is there was a mathematician who was a mathematician, an astronomer, is also a statistician, big numbers guy. In 1832, wanted to figure out a way that we could objectively determine how good a shape we were in, our health, and what have you. So he came up with this equation dealing with waist size and age and height, and I think weight is in there also. And he came up with this formula that supposedly gave you a number that you put on this graph, and you could tell if you were in shape or not. And I have to say, for 1832, it wasn't too bad. You know, it's kind of I use it thus like the kind of trying to see if something's level, whatever. Yeah, that I'm eyeballing it. That looks like you're in shape. And that's pretty well what BMI is. Now, it was called the Quetelet Index at the time, but that was 1832. For general purposes, do we already have an eyeball kind of measurement on our fitness? Yeah, we do. It's called weight. Because weight actually is the gravitational pull of the earth on your body. It doesn't actually tell me anything about your fitness or your wellness. But honestly, if you're overweight, you're feeling large, you're trying some things, you're drinking some more water, maybe you've gotten into somewhat of a diet program, or you started exercising, and you want to get a kind of an idea, hey, am I doing any better? Yeah, stepping on a scale is not a bad idea. We actually use it in our Catalyst program when we're starting people off on making some changes. I've got a scale myself. We've got scales at our facility. We do use that. But once you get down to a certain level, it's not very accurate at all. In fact, it tells you really no fitness information except for the gravitational pull of the earth on your body. But it lets you know if you've got more or less of it there. And so it's not a bad eyeball measurement. What we really need something more scientific. And the scary thing about this ridiculous body mass index is the fact that it does no more than weight does. And the problem is, we've been looking to it. And when I say we, I mean people in the health industry. My field is not licensed. So you've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has a weekend certification call themselves a personal trainer. Not like the staff at Personal Edge Fitness, where every single one of our trainers possess, at minimum, a bachelor's degree in the field of either exercise science, exercise physiology, kinesiology, sport medicine, or athletic training. But it's an unlicensed field. So you've got a lot of personal trainers that are using it. Sad thing is you have a lot of doctors using it. And depending on the medical or health professional that's using it, seems to somewhat certify it as legitimate. It is not. It is not. It is incredibly dangerous. Why do I say that? Well, let me give you some healthy examples. Let me give you some surprising examples. I like to use examples of some of my staff members. I have a staff member named Hunter. He's in fantastic shape. And what I mean, why do I know that? Well, I've got a bachelor's degree in exercise science, and I've got a master's degree in fitness management. I've seen this guy work out, and he's a little bit taller than me, which isn't saying much. But he can bench press a Buick. He can squat an entire automotive dealership. I'm 5'6", 165 myself. I have a 31-inch waist. Hunter has a waist smaller than mine, I guarantee you. I've never actually measured his body fat, but he's had to measure it several times, and he's somewhere at least in the low teens, if not in the single digits. If you put him on a body mass index scale, this wonderful scientific measurement, he's obese. He actually showed me the numbers. 30.6, he's obese. Many of you probably know one of my directors has been with us 15 years. He's incredible. He'll tell you he's tall and lanky himself. And he loves it that I say this. He picks on my head all the time. So I always say that he's not only tall and thin, but the guy's got a nose that can smell into the future. Now that's Gary Zakut. Now Gary, not picking on Gary whatsoever. And the reason I don't pick on Gary is I'm going to cycle with him at some point in the time. And I don't want him to beat me as bad as he's already going to beat me, because he can rip the legs off of most cyclists around. The guy's in phenomenal shape, always has been in phenomenal shape. His body fat's going to be in the low teens itself. Again, he's obese. Now, if this measurement were only not good for healthy people, then I would think, hey, this podcast even worth a quick hit. But let me show you where it's dangerous. Give you some numbers real quick without naming names. Again, I said I'm 5'6". I'm 5'6", 161. I've measured somebody over the age of 60 that's 6'2", 155. Now, you would think, just hearing that, 6'2", 155, he's almost a foot taller than me. Actually, I'm not doing my math correctly, but it seems that way. But he's taller than me and what have you, and he weighs, almost 10 pounds less than I do, somewhere between 6 to 10 pounds less than I do. So you think, okay, well, he must be in great shape. People are telling me he is all the time. His doctor measured his BMI. His BMI is great. He must be in phenomenal shape. And the doctor tells him the reason that he's on blood pressure medication and why he's on cholesterol medication is because of genetics. Well, I did another measurement. The measurement I use is the true measurement for whether or not somebody is obese. Because you can have situations like I said about Hunter and Gary a minute ago where somebody's super fit but they still register obese, though they are not in any danger of getting the usual problems associated with obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. They're not in any danger whatsoever. But this next measurement that I'm about to tell you, if you are a male that is equal to or over 25% body fat, or you are a female that is equal to or over 32% body fat, congratulations, you are obese. And with that, if you have that number and you can run a sub 5-minute mile, you still have the same risk factors of getting diabetes, cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Doesn't matter if you're not big. This person that I measured, whose doctor told him the reason why he was on those medications must be just genetics, measured in at 31.5% body fat, he is obese. That's the reason. Even though he's thin, even though he looks great, there's no way he can. This is why you've probably heard this before. I gave a speech recently, and one of the participants in the audience wrote an email to me congratulating me on it. I appreciate him sharing that. And his last sentence was, I'm doing something to make changes, but skinny people have heart attacks too. Exactly. And the reason I'm talking about BMI is because we use that as a measurement. People are really betting their lives on it. It's absurd. I'll tell you a little other brief story about it. There's something I found out the other day. It was called the Quitlet Index, then it became the BMI, Body Mass Index. What scientist, what health professional named it Body Mass Index? Because if you think about it, that sounds very scientific. Sounds like it's a real good measurement. And by the way, my health professional used it, so it must be good. Somebody had to coin that phrase. Well, if you by any chance heard me speak on the lie of food, or if you've heard my podcast on the lie of food, you've heard me talk about where this ridiculous lie came about good food and bad food. When we were taught to hate food, which is in 1953 when a celebrity had a heart attack, and then a biochemist by the name of Ansel Keys came up with a 7-country study where he supposedly proved that the lipid hypothesis was true, which meant that if you had high saturated fat diet, you got high cholesterol, and high cholesterol caused heart attacks. It caused coronary artery disease. And if you've heard my podcast, you've heard me talk about that and the fact that there are numerous clinical tests on that hypothesis have never been proven. And to this day in 2022, and even though that came out in 1956 originally, even to this day in 2022, we still call it the lipid hypothesis. It is not true. It was all started by a gentleman by the name of Ansel Keys, a biochemist, who in 1972 thought the Quitlet Index was a fantastic way to tell somebody they're in shape. So good, it needed a really good scientific name, so he called it the Body Mass Index. And as somebody who I'm a big fan of used to say at the end of his program, and now you know the rest of the story. Stay away from Body Mass Index. If you're interested in finding out how good a shape you're really in, you want to really know the number, contact us. We'll be glad to measure your body fat and show you what you're looking at. You can contact us at area code 251-278-3343. You can contact me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. That is also our website and our Facebook page. Don't fool yourself with the lies, folks. Stay away from BMI. and continue seeking your level of wellness.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.